Anointed Warriors. What up, spiritual family? And welcome back to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where here it's all about promoting a holistic path, a holistic mind, body, and spirit path to life, to health and wellness, and to, of course, running the race that He has set before us. For more information about what makes this a different type of ministry, and some information about what makes me a different kind of minister, and I am, please stay tuned to the end of the video. But I'd like to start by welcoming you guys and sending a special shout out of love, thanks, and appreciation to the longtime subscribers and supporters of the ministry. And having said that, I encourage all of you guys, long-time viewers, somewhere in between, first-time viewers, hey, live in a very meaningful, in a very tangible way. Live a life that literally prioritizes faith over fear, truth over tradition, knowledge over nonsense, love over lust, and people over profit. That's what I got for you guys. Hey, again, I'm your host, Brother Minister Mongoose, and without further ado, we're going to take right off into today's topic. You know, in these topsy-turvy times, and we know these topsy-turvy times are, the entire world is engulfed in these times, whether it's, the next looming pandemic, political upheavals, world wars, racial tensions, political upheavals, gas and food prices, if I didn't mention that. The list goes on, and every human being that's on this planet is experiencing that. And yet those of us who carry this thing that we call the light, we experience those things plus a lot more. The enemy has decided to put us in his crosshairs as he continues to fight to uphold a dying system, a dying mindset, a dying heart set. And for those of us who genuinely carry the light, we refuse to yield. We know that through the bumps, the bruises, all the turmoil, we know that we are empowered by higher power. It's important that we know, guys, that we are assigned and anointed. We are raised up for a time such as these. And one of the things we must keep in mind, in the midst of all the turmoils, in the midst of all of our personal struggles to get better, self-improvements, to be more positive people, to keep our prayer lives uplifted, and to walk away from toxic environments, whatever the case may be, in our own struggles, to do those things, we must keep in mind the fact that the world, and the people of the world, they need you. They literally need you. They don't necessarily want you. They don't necessarily desire you, no more than a child who needs medication desires that harsh, bitter, unpleasant taste. They don't desire that. They're not interested in that. They're going to run away from that. They're going to reject that. They're going to refuse that. And yet the parent must remain steadfast in the knowledge that that child needs that medicine. So it's important that you know, through it all, never lose sight of the fact that the world needs you. Never fall out of balance when it comes to being compassionate, but not being a coward. Never fall out of balance when it comes to being forgiving and setting clear boundaries and enforcing them if and when it's necessary. Never fall out of balance in the thinking these people, the collective society that resists, that squirm, that fight against, that even attack you for what it is that you bring, never lose sight of the fact that they need you. They literally need you. Now, in the midst of all this, as we continue to walk in discernment and not allow our gifts, our talents, our divine attributes to be weaponized against us, so that we're not manipulated and people take advantage of your kindness, your compassion, your humbleness, or whatever. As we move forward in those things, we got to remember that 85% of the people on the planet are potentials for being upgraded, uplifted, changed, refined, inspired, motivated, encouraged, and led by you and what it is that they need. 85% of the people on the planet. And of course, we know that means this would have to include, just based on sheer numbers, this would have to include the very people that betrayed you, the people that's prejudging you, the people that's giving you the evil eye, that's being rude, disrespectful. 85% of the people on the planet needs you. And that's in a very literal way, guys. This is not hyperbole. This is not supposition, conjecture. This is truth. Again, it's just like if it's a 5-year-old, 7-year-old, whatever the case may be, and they need to learn how to ride that bike. They're not interested in falling off and scarring up their knees. In fact, once they've scarred up their knees, they might decide to, hey, mom, dad, hey, listen, I don't want to try to ride the bike anymore. My knee's still sore from the last time. My elbow still got a scar on it. But yet, they need that. So you must never surrender your post. You must also never surrender that not only do they need that, it is your divine requirement. It's required of you by this thing that we call God. In order for you to fulfill the purpose and the journey for which He has brought you into this 3D form of existence. In order for you to become free of the cosmic entanglement. Rise above ego. Set aside what you got and what you don't got, and the mistakes you've made, and how excellent things are or how not so excellent things are. To set aside that and realize that you have something that transcends all of that. It's your requirement to bring that something into the world. You're amongst one of the very few people who, you're not here to get it. You're here to let it. Most people don't have it to give. They don't have love, compassion. Most people don't even have courage, or if you'll pardon me for being so audacious and actually speaking the truth, most people lack even common sense. The only thing common in a sense that they have is a sense that they've been given through this indoctrinated form of existence, these indoctrinated teachings. So most people don't have it to give to you. So you're not here to get it. You're here to let it flow. Your love, your compassion, your courage, your humbleness, your tolerance, your personality. You're here to let that flow and to lead and inspire the 85% of the people who are potential recipients. Not all of them are going to receive, hence the word potential recipients. You are amongst a very rare breed, and I'm not going to get into that conversation. I made several videos that addressed it, but there are the 5%ers, those people who have the spiritual DNA that you have. There's only 5% of the people on the planet that shares that with you. But then you got the 85% of the people who are just kind of lost, just kind of entangled, just kind of beat down, deceived, misguided. They're suffering from the things that I mentioned, whether it's the economy and family issues. They don't know where to turn. And 85% of the people have just succumbed and fallen into the dark abyss as a result of the fact that they just simply don't have what you have. And it's not arrogance, it's not judgmental, it's truth. But 85% of them have the potential, again, to be led, to be inspired, to be guided, to be motivated, to be uplifted, to be healed by what you carry. And then, of course, you got the 10%er. The 10%ers. These are the people who are committed to the darkness, whatever happens. They're committed to witchcraft, idolatry, narcissistic tendencies and behaviors, Ouija boards, and the list goes on and on in terms of them being committed to being disciples of darkness. These people, when you come across them, you'll know their energy is way more toxic, way more palatable than the 85%ers that you come across. So you'll know. And if you need some information about how to sharpen your discernment and your sense of awareness and the ways in which we decode these people and the energies that they carry, reach out to this ministry. That's the express purpose for which this ministry has been created. But we must never lose sight that the world needs you. The world needs you. And the powers that be know this. The powers that be know that you've been raised up for a time such as these, and that what you carry, just based on the simple fact that you carry it, it changes things. It alters things. It can never be conquered or quenched. It could only be dampened down, if you will, by way of you choosing to let go of it, by the way of you choosing to lose sight of it, by way of you choosing to neglect it and not put in the time, the research, to study the good human conduct that's required in order to nourish it and develop it and to embody it in its entirety. The powers that be know that this is what they're relying on. Hence all the shrewdness, all the distractions, all the attacks, all in an effort to get you to view yourself as being a victim, to view yourself as not being good enough, to view yourself as someone who's just meant to be in lack and without. But the devil is a lie. You have been empowered to do something that only you can do. You have gifts, talents, your smile, your views, your perspectives that the world need and that only you can bring into this world. To be like if I could borrow the analogy that I refer to most common stance or most commonly, you're the person who, based on the unique things that you have, again, even your quirks, your attitude, your personality, your perspectives, it fits into a puzzle that only you can be that piece of that puzzle. It's like being on the aircraft carrier. And they got 3,000, 4,000 people on an aircraft carrier. Well, here's a little cheat sheet. Every single person on that aircraft carrier has an assignment, a duty, and a responsibility that only they or them in their particular department can fulfill. And if they neglect that, if they stray away from that, then the whole aircraft carrier suffers. The aircraft carrier being, of course, his kingdom that we are anointed to establish and advance right here on this planet. So don't go for the okie doke. The enemy would love nothing less than to get you to confine yourself, to confine your personality, your aura, your energy, your love, your talents, your confidence, your humbleness. Confine that. Don't you dare boom that out. Because again, 85% of people on the planet, even though they're lashing out, even though they're treating you unfairly and unjustifiably. 85% of them are potentials. And you represent the small 5% of people who can put that potential out there and change, lead, guide, inspire, motivate, and literally heal people. But the enemy don't want you putting that out there. The enemy don't want you putting that out there. He knows that the world needs you. If the world is to change, and it is, if the world is to grow and advance and evolve, and it is, you are the prerequisite to all of that. And the enemy knows this. The world needs you, man. Brother, sister. The world needs you. And they need every single thing about you. Your position in this kingdom assignment is as unique as your fingerprint. You don't have to second guess yourself. You don't have to overly think your position, your assignment. When you're ready, he's going to reveal all that to you. You just have to keep walking the path. And never forget, like I said, in the midst of, having to set boundaries, having to walk away from relationships, having to suffer financial challenges, whatever the case may be, in the midst of it all, you must never surrender your love, because the world needs that. You must never surrender your knowledge, your overall energy, the energy that you carry, your confidence. The world needs that. You know how many people are sitting on the sideline that would stand up, that want to stand up for whatever reason, in whatever way. Whether it's standing up to a bully that's bullying somebody over there on the job, or whether it's standing up by writing their congressman, standing up and saying, hey, being a racist ain't the way. Standing up and saying, hey, being a thug isn't the way. You know how many people want to stand up? But they need you. That God-given courage to stand up. You know how many people want to operate in genuine love and in their own God-given authenticity, but they see, hey man, everybody else is just doing what's in vogue. Everybody else is doing what they need to do to fit in. Everybody is committing abandonment, suicide of their God-given authentic self. Everybody's trying so very hard to be what they want to be, and no one's trying to be who they already are. They need you to say, hey, listen, maybe quirky, maybe corny. You can judge it. It may be odd. It may seem weird. But I have, if you'll pardon my strength, I have the cojones to be me, the God-given, authentic me. People need you because they want to be them. They don't like having to fake it day in and day out. They don't like having to dress like everybody. They don't like having to smile when they don't want to smile. They don't like having to dance if they don't like the music. They don't like any of it. But they don't see any way out. And here's where you come in. The world needs you. And it is your God-given requirement to fulfill the duties and to bring into this world what he has given you to bring into this world. The world needs your humbleness. You know how many people would love to be humble? But they see, you know what? The humble guy or the humble girl, they get spat on. They get labeled as cowards. They get labeled as targets. So no, I'm not going to show any humbleness. I'm going to show a toughness, a bravado, a resilience, and I'm going to put on this facade that I'm like an army tank mentally and emotionally. It's all a facade. It's all a facade. They love to be able to say to be humble and say, "Oh man, I stepped on your shoe. I didn't mean nothing by it," or "Oh man, yeah, sure, I'll get out of the way while you're walking down the sidewalk." They want to be that. They want to be humble. Your experiences, good or bad, beautiful or ugly, sensical or nonsensical, practical or impractical, your experiences. They need. Because you ain't the only one that had those experiences. Drug use, incarceration, being overweight, being homeless, being chauvinistic, being arrogant, chasing the money and stomping on people in order to get the promotion. And you're not the only one that had that. So people need for you to share your experiences because they like to give that up, but that's all they know. They don't think they can make it without that dog eat dog mentality. They don't think they can make it without those drugs, without that crime, without being a racist, whatever the case may be. People need your experience, man. They need your tolerance. People need your patience. They need to see you patient. They need to be able to see in the midst of all these storms. They see you on the job. They see you walking down the street. They see you in the workplace. They see all the fiery darts that people are throwing at you. They need to be able to, they need you to show them what it looks like to be tolerant. They need your compassion to show, hey, look, I can be compassionate here. I know you're hurting. I know you're lost. I know you're confused. I know you're frustrated. But I also know there's a better way. And I also know that within me, within you, is the template of that better way. People need you to see that. They're watching you. And when they see you remain tolerant and humble and compassionate in the midst of all these fiery darts, and if and when, someone attempts to cross the uncrossable line, they're watching you to see if you're going to cower out, if you're going to overreact with ego and arrogance, or if you're just going to stand firm in good old-fashioned confidence and say, you know what, that's unacceptable. This right here ain't that. Please, cease that. Don't do it anymore. I'm not about that. They need for you to appropriately, adequately, and sufficiently show courage. People need what you have. People need it. Don't go for the okie doke. People need what you have, your wisdom. They need your time. Time for you to sometimes just say, hey, listen, can I help you? Can I volunteer? Can I assist you? Your time. People need, some of you guys out there got financial resources. People need that. Don't keep going for the okie doke, giving your money to the March of Dimes or some other organization where the federal law says for every dollar you give to those type of organizations, they only need to give about 10 or 15 cents out of that. And the rest they can say went towards paperwork. Get out there, get your hands dirty, get your feet in the mud and go through the places. Go through the organizations where if you have to, I know me personally, that's one of the ways I give back. I put cash in people's hands. And I trust on his discernment that I'm not putting it in an unbalanced way. I'll explain that in a minute. That I'm not putting it in an unbalanced way in the hands of a drug addict or alcoholic. That's what that discernment is for. I'm putting it in the hands more abundantly in the hands that people who actually need it, who are actually homeless, who are actually hurting. But then I also, according to his discernment, I put it in the hands of people that I know are drug addicts, that I know are alcoholics, that I know are not necessarily going to do anything but buy drugs or alcohol. Why would I do something like that? Because I could be, this is what I got from him, and this is just me personally, I could be saving somebody from getting robbed, somebody from getting their house broke in, somebody from getting stabbed, somebody from getting raped, somebody from getting molested, all of these different things because that alcoholic was so bent out of shape because he couldn't get the alcohol. He broke in somebody's house. He committed murder to get the money. And now you comprehend. But in whatever way you give back, people need your giving. They need your compassion. People need your smile. You don't have to walk in there because everybody else is mean mugging and evil eye. Sometimes people just need, hey man, that good old-fashioned genuine smile, not that sarcastic smile, not that, hey, I'm doing better than you smile, not that genuine smile that says, hey, I know. That hurt, that sorrow, that sadness, I've seen it before. And I've seen it in me. So here's a smile that says, hey, there's a better way. And if you'd like, I'd be more than willing to assist you, to encourage you, to direct you to that better way. People need what you have. Period. Point blank. Case closed. End of discussion. Forget about it. People need what you have. There's something that you have that only you can bring into this world, just like your fingerprint. It's your assignment. It's not mine. My assignment is not yours, even though we're on the same aircraft carrier. And even though we may be in the same department, whether that's the department as pilots, the department of navigators, the departments of custodials, the custodial crew, the food and sanitation crew, whatever department in, we may be in the same department, but I got to do this over here, like working in a restaurant. We're in the same department, but you got to cook. That person got to do the prep work. That other person has to save. And yes, has to serve. And yes, you comprehend. So if you've been out of balance, that's okay. Now's the time. I'm sounding the alarm. Get yourself back into balance. And stop allowing the enemy to have you curtail your love, your kindness, your joy, your wisdom, your courage, your humbleness. Stop letting the enemy cause you to say, hey man, well, people aren't receptive. When you have that right mindset, you realize, you know what? Most of them aren't going to be receptive. It's not meant for them to be receptive, but it's meant for you to fulfill your God-given obligation. Again, 85% of the people on this planet, unfortunately, and I mean this in no disparaging type of way, but most people are sheeple. Human beings have an innate desire to to be led and to follow. As humans, we're all hardwired as that. The only difference is the 10%ers have taken advantage of that and have led people down a negative path. And the 5%ers sometimes haven't awakened to their potential as the leader, or they've awakened, but they've fallen out of balance and absorbed the notion that, hey, people just don't want it. Hey, they're not supposed to want it. They're not here to want it. Like that baby doesn't want that medicine, but you have a job to do as a parent nevertheless. You comprehend. I also want to encourage you guys to start thinking outside the box as I begin to try to wrap this up. I want you guys to start thinking out of the box when it comes to the world needs you. That is to say, when you walk into these environments, when you walk into these toxic neighborhood, workplaces, whatever they may consist of for you, keep in mind that it's bigger than you. It's literally bigger than you. It's bigger than you, and it's bigger than the narcissistic, the lost people. It's bigger than the 10%ers. It's bigger than you. It's about that environment. It's about your God-given assignment that's bigger than you when you look at you in the mirror. It's bigger than me when I look at me in the mirror. It's about a God-given assignment. It's about that spiritual environment. You know, the enemy is always seeking to project all of these negative looks, these negative energies, these things, these thoughts of doubt, of despair, of inadequacy, of insufficiency. They're projecting all of that onto you. They're trying to attach that to you so that if you mistakenly absorb that, then you become all the things that you essentially despise, all the things that you're here by God's authority to stand against. Lack of information / ignorance, arrogance, the lack of tolerance, the lack of humbleness, ego. They're projecting all of that your way so that you mistakenly, instead of walking in humbleness, I'll show them, and you have mistakenly fallen into arrogance. I'm not going to be humble anymore. I know you don't like me. Cross the line. I'm going to cold check you. Now you've fallen out of humbleness. You comprehend all across the board. Love, compassion, knowledge, all of these different things. The enemy projects those things out to you and seeking to attach those things to you so you walk around in arrogance or head down, no confidence. That's the enemy who's arrogant. That's the enemy who's egotistical. That's the enemy who has no confidence. That's the enemy who is moving in spiritual laziness or whatever the case may be. That's not you. So you got to remember to, momentarily, temporarily suspend the you in the situation. Temporarily suspend them or the group, the person or whoever. Temporarily suspend them and realize this is about this atmosphere. This is about me sending out and standing on the love, the confidence, the courage, the faith, the love, the joy, the compassion. It's about me standing on those things and allowing those things to go outward. I'm not here to get it from them. They're here, the 85%ers. The 10%ers obviously are here to block those things altogether. But the 85%ers are here. They're born to try and get these things, find a way to get these things from life, from their car, from their job, from their spouse, etc., etc. You're here not to get those things, but to let those things. You already have those things. So keep that in mind. It's not about that person. It's about that environment and you being able to control that outer environment by way of controlling your inner environment, which is to stay totally dialed in to who you are, what he has given you, and the knowledge and the embracement of the fact that these people need this. They may not want it. And when I come across those people who are 10%ers or these people who may be 85%ers, but they aren't ready to receive the goodness and his grace that you have within you, then you just let those people go. You don't become retaliatory. You don't get back and forth with an energy, negative energy exchange or nothing. It's just, hey, that's their energy. It's over there. My energy is here, and that's what it is. And I'm putting my energy out. And for all those who are meant to receive it, they will receive it. But you got to put it out there. Don't hunker down. Don't put yourself into a corner. Don't allow the enemy to trick you into going into a corner. They need it, whether they want to, whether they let you know, whether they admit it or not. So this is today's message, man. I'm going to try and get out of here. Guys. I like to respect you guys' time, and I personally think that the 35 minutes tops videos are, it's being respectful for you guys' time, and it gives me, I try to put, at least the nuts and bolts of the subject matter into a 35 minute video. Sometimes it's not enough, as you guys know. You click on some of my videos, some of them may be over an hour, but I do my best, and of course I comprehend what the Holy Spirit is leading me to in terms of the time and the message and all those different things. So having said that, guys, I'm prepared to conclude today's message. I always put my email link out in the description box, guys. Remember, if you have any follow-up questions or if you're interested in some of the services that I'm about to mention here, or prayer or any of those things, guys, hey, listen, reach out to this ministry, man. You hear me say all the time, and I mean it. Like, the more I give to you, the more he gives me. And so that means I can give you even more. And that's all across the board. Whatever financial assistance I can provide, whatever love, encouragement, information, prayer. The more I build you up, the more he builds me up. And that's kind of the scenic route to say that, hey, you can best believe I'm going to be trying to build you up. I'm going to be doing my absolute best, because I know the stronger I make you, the stronger he makes me. So that I can make you even stronger. He don't make me stronger just for me. He makes me stronger so that I can in turn make you stronger. He holds me accountable so that I can hold you accountable in those type of messages and videos that require accountability. Hey man, listen, we doing this, but we know we're better than that. That's not who he is. Who we are. Pardon me. But in any event, listen, thank you guys so very much for tuning in. If you have any follow-up questions, hey, reach out. I love the opportunity to hear from you guys. When it comes to what makes me a different kind of minister, please watch a video that's titled My Testimony and Disclosure. When it comes to what makes this a different kind of ministry, in addition to the fact that, again, it's a holistic mind, body, and spirit ministry, please watch a video that's titled MBS Service Tutorial. That's going to give you some specific information about these services that include experiential-based philosophical consultative counseling for the mind, ISSA certified fitness training for the body, and clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices for the spirit and for the soul. The additional services that are provided by this ministry consist of good old-fashioned motivational speaking, as well as youth and young adult mentoring and counseling. Again, for some specific details about all those services, watch the video MBS Service Tutorial. Also, please visit the physical fitness branch of the ministry located at mountfitnessmbs.com. And, if you'd like to sign up for any of the services, you'd like to schedule your initial consultation and evaluation in any or all of the services that I just mentioned, hit that same email link I'll leave down in the description box. If you found value in today's message, and or if you think there's someone out there who could get value out of today's message, then please take that quick second, reach over there and hit the share button. That's the most important button of all, in my opinion. Hit that share button. Take a message, put it out there. You never know. Somebody may be on the brink. They may be literally standing on the edge, and they may need to hear this. And whatever that edge looks like, they may be standing on it. So please, hit the share button. And if the Holy Spirit moves you to do so, then also please kindly hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. And if you'd like to receive a notification when I upload a new message, then also please hit the bell icon. But that's what I got for you guys. The world needs you. The world needs you. It may not look like it. It may not seem like it. They may not respond or react like it. But 85% of the people on the planet are potentials. They're potentials of a person who can look at what you bring to the world and say, well, real dignity, real integrity, real honor, real courage, real humbleness, the pursuit and the utilization of real wisdom, real compassion, real forgiveness, real kindness. Like, these things really exist. In you, they can see that these things aren't just an idea. These things aren't just done in a politically superficial way, not in a politically correct way. But they're real, and people need that. So go out there and do your job and give them what they need and fulfill your God-given assignment. Now, if there's anything this ministry can do to help you keep your mind, your body, and your spirit healthy, beautiful, and vibrant, then reach out to this ministry. I love the opportunity to assist you in any way that Heavenly Father would instruct me to do so. But that's what I got for you guys. Hey, I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next one. I am Brother Minister Mongoose, and I will holla back. Peace.